Bowls program at the Commonwealth Games.
Oh, that's the start hooter for the matches. 3-hour time limit on these games, of course. We'll not need that.
And we're lucky about the names because both these pairs have got the names there, but we won't need them, I'm sure, because we will bring you the details of who's doing what. And just going back to the complex here, it's worth pointing out, I think, David, isn't it, that only a matter of weeks ago this whole area was under feet of water after the monsoon, and the clean-up job they've done here and the way they presented it so beautifully is a real tribute to the organisers.
Well, I said earlier in one or two of the matches that this is, I think, so 7 Commonwealth Games I've been involved in, and this is certainly the best I've seen. It really is. It's been excellent stuff. The players' conditions in terms of the air-conditioned, relaxing lounges, and the greens, being artificial, of course, are fine. A little bit tricky, a little bit heavy, but, you know, let's get out there and adapt, guys. It's what you play on every week is not the easiest, so just get used to it.
Well, everyone has to deal with it, and it is a challenge. It's maybe a matter of adjusting technique and strength of shot, but that's part of the challenge of the game.
Wheels. Don't be confused because they're 2 blue balls, but wheels are actually playing in blue. But thing is that both leads are using the same coloured balls, which is a little bit awkward, but you'll see little plastic circles on each side that indicate they're in red and blue. Danny just running off the ball, or sorry, Richard just running off the ball with Martin Selway. Got a chance to add the double. This looks a little bit on the high side, going to be difficult to get back from there. Well, it was making an effort, but it eats up the weight. That's the problem. Three balls each in the pairs. 2 sets of 9 ends with a 3-end tie break if required. Well, that was definitely pacey. And if we go to tie break, I'll explain the rules there, which are slightly different from the normal. Always a little tweak of the rules for Commonwealth Games. Looking good with this, if he can get an edge. Yes, just used the ball, come in front. A little bit fortunate in terms of the end result, but it was always going to be a useful ball. Martin will be happy enough for that, and Jason will be absolutely delighted. He is delighted. There's the smile.
Yes. And the 2 New Zealand athletes just swapping a word or two there. I think they're maybe just wary of the fact that this could be a difficult evening for them. This is not going to be straightforward. I think Richard Collett and Danny Delaney are in for a pretty tough match, and just wanting to get things right.
Well, Danny looking to attack with the first delivery. Needs to hold up, though, the way that whipped across. Those sort of in-between shots, as we call them, the controlled weight, are very, very difficult to be successful with. I had a chat with Paul Foster and Darren Burnett from Scotland earlier today, and they also agree. They think they'll be staying away from them. They'll be playing a drive-draw game. And Jason very much plays a drive-draw game, a very attacking player, Jason Greenslade. Just needs to break back inside. Not making it, but still a handy ball. Well, interesting, New Zealand are prepared to have another go at this because they could draw a very good second off the back ball. To say this in between shots, difficult. There it goes, David, and really you could do that all day.
Yes.
So either go for it straight, hit it properly, or just try and drop onto the second shot.
Yeah, something to think about for Danny Delaney.
It looks under, Jace. Well, Danny, I think there's an indication there that he should go a bit heavier at this. Still very controlled. Will it hold this time? It is holding. He's got a chance, a little bit of extra weight. There it goes, and you'll find that that back ball might well be Jason's. That was his first delivery. Difficult for us to tell just from this angle, but I have a fever it might be one to Wales. Good delivery, good adjustment, went with a little bit more pace, slightly wider. Jason now 40 years of age and his first international cap at 17 for Wales. Well, he would quite like to dip underneath that front one. Didn't have the pace. See what the players decide. Well, to measure. Well, the guy's not calling in the umpire. They're deciding to measure themselves. That's quite good to see. If it gets very, very close, David, they'll call the umpire, but that keeps the game moving.
Yeah, of course. Nice to see that right from the start.
Well, we're just testing to see who scored that, but it looks like it's 1 to red. At least that's what's being indicated, 1 to red. Well, that's what they're saying. It's actually 1 to Wales. She's holding up the wrong one, our little NTO, who looks after the lollipops, so it's 1 to Wales. Good start by Richard Collett. It's a little bit tricky with these balls to just looking at exactly the same, David, isn't it? That perfect blue colour.
It is. It's very difficult.
It's very confusing.
Difficult for us.
Yes. It was so much easier when Australia and Melbourne all used yellow balls. No one else was using yellow balls, so it was just great. That looks very narrow from Martin Selway, but it's holding, just drifting at the end. It's a tricky enough looking rink by the first few balls that have been delivered. Good steady delivery. I think normally we look at these competitions, David, as Commonwealth Games, the absolute pinnacle of bowling, and that you have to play perfect balls all the time, but you actually don't. That's the thing. You don't have to. It's not like an athlete who has to run at sort of 9.6 seconds to win a gold medal. In here, you have to do the straightforward stuff right and do it often.
Yeah.
Consistency will take over from most other things in this sport.
Apart from anything else, it's difficult to play perfectly all the time. It can't be done.
No one does. No one does. But if you look at the way that's been playing there are 2 shots. The rest of the balls are, what, 5-6 feet away, and Jason's, you know, in a bit of bother. They're not that close, but they're scoring. Again, missed line. Really should have been coming in on the high side there, because On the high side, there's terminology for coming in wide to the jack.
So these are early stages of this men's pairs, and both teams feeling their way rather. Conditions obviously take some getting used to, as well as the playing surface. It's still pretty warm. It's not quite as hot as it was earlier today, but under the lights, and it's slightly different feeling, inevitably, to the whole process.
Jason looking for an edge. He was on the narrow side. One, possibly two shots down at the moment. Well, Skip Danny Delaney turned his back quickly on that and came back. Well, it's not finished yet. There's now just seem to be coming in on the inside of that, and it's not really necessary. Go on the outside of the mat, use it appropriately, and let the ball do the work. There he goes, turns it back on it. He knew it wasn't close. Not to worry, move on. Jason's quite an aggressive player. If he was playing singles, he'd be driving at this, but pairs is different. Doesn't want to take the risk of taking his own ball out. That would be an easy count for New Zealand. If he's playing it, the safer way to play it would be on the forehand with pace. Well, trying to draw it. This ball's got a lot of work to do to get back from there. Yeah, just overplayed it, understandably. Now I will wait to find out what happens. Looks like one to red. There's the confirmation, one it is to red. So New Zealand will be delighted to get their account up and running. Seems to be a pattern here, David, that whenever you win the end, the players are giving the jack away. That indicates to me that they're not quite sure what to do with the jack. Yeah. So they're taking the other option of having the last ball. It's very, very important that when you assess a match, that if you get onto a length that you want to play, you just take the jack, you get in first, you dominate the game from there, you win the end and keep the jack all the time.
I think both pairs seem to be feeling their way at this stage in the match, don't they? They haven't found the right approach yet.
Exactly what they're doing. They haven't quite come to terms with playing under the lights on this rink at the moment. Well, that's a decent start for both players in terms of pace. Just watch where Martin Selway is standing on it. Yes, he's right on the outside of the mat, which means that he should be coming in off a high line and let the ball drift back. So he's cutting down the margin of error by doing that, all on pace. Now he's looking for the drift. Well, that's better than being a yard on the inside.
Yeah.
By using the mat, let the ball drift back nice and slowly off a high line. Much more space to play with in terms of error. Richard Collett Good line with this. Needs a jack. Didn't get it, but good place.
Starting to find their range, aren't they?
Yes, well, you would expect that with two experienced leads. Martin Selway's been around the game a long time, a 46-year-old now from Wales, and looking to turn his own ball. That's what Jason was hoping for. Danny quite happy for Richard to play the backhand. He can afford to look for the jack a little bit, but it's really just a draw. If you pick it up on the way past, it's a bonus. This one's got a bit of work to do to get back. Well, that would have been a good ball if you'd had the pace.
It would have cut back more.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He'd probably have found centre rink, but it would have been at least a metre and a half behind the jack. But getting back to value of balls again, isn't it? Well, if you're standing on the mat with the ball, try and give it some value whenever you deliver it. Jason just giving something on the green, a little helping hand to move it away.
Either a large moth or maybe,
oh,
who knows?
It's scampered away at a heck of a rate.
It's gone.
So Jason on the forehand, trying to reach through to the jack or turn the shot ball away from the head. This needs to hold because it'll dip away very quickly. Well, it's not bad. It's in the area, but not scoring. Interesting character, Jason Greenslade. Talk about him a little bit later. Oh, he'll take that. He'll definitely take that. That's a very useful ball. That one ball cuts out the three Welsh balls completely. Jason. Little bit of pace should be arriving to this head. When I mean arriving, it's just playing through it. Oh, Jace, you have to reach. Danny trying to encourage the ball up, making sure, and the protector at the same time. This is awkward for Jason.
Yeah. So the two New Zealanders happy with that.
Well, it's a nice position, David, because not only are they lining the shots, but just behind, below the jack on our picture, you can see the red ball with the red, or the blue ball, the red sticker. That's counting, and it's leaving Jason very little to play with.
Yeah.
He's got nothing behind the head. He can't attack it, so he has to try and draw it onto the ball or draw it onto the jack.
And Danny Delaney, maybe not the lightest man on his feet, but he was chasing that pretty quick.
He was up on his toes.
Skipping along.
Oh, jeez, I don't know. You look a little bit narrow unless you're carrying pace to this. Oh, dear. Well, you know, this could be quite costly. This really could be quite costly for Wales. Early days, of course, in the 9-end set. It's only the third end.
Just get the feeling that the two Kiwis are enjoying this slightly more than the Welsh lads at the moment.
Yeah, I think
and
that's
doing
fair.
Slightly better in this end. Danny Delaney looks a bit happier now.
Yes, well, he'll do well to get back from there. If he's got good weight, he'll make it for the spare shot. This is the spare shot coming in.
Yeah.
And the spare shot is the last ball with no reply. This could be two, maybe even three shots. There's two out. Danny Delaney using his balls very well. Three.
Three, yeah.
Three shots to New Zealand. Well, it had all the signs of being a costly end. And that's exactly the way it turned out. There we go. Once again, New Zealand happy to give the jack away. Now, the one way to stop an opponent giving the jack away is to be in with your first 2 or 3 balls in a pairs. It gives them a short, sharp shock not to do it again. It's not a bad starter at this distance. Interesting. Richard Collett quite happy to play the forehand, even though that ball was marginally in the way.
Yeah.
Quite content to do it. Jason swinging his arm. That ball didn't move very much. Might be a slightly less predictable side of the green.
Yeah. Even if in yours up once you get a shot.
Oh, that's interesting. In some way moving across onto the forehand. Backhand was still open, but this forehand looks a bit more predictable. Oh, does he have the pace? Help it over? Not quite. This is building up to be quite difficult for Wales. Not going to make it. Needed a clear road. Turned the Welsh ball over. If that drops, it could well be the shot. New Zealand will be very keen to do well in this Commonwealth Games, David. They lost a lot of their funding for bowling after Melbourne, where they returned with nothing in the locker regarding medals.
So it's rebuilding from scratch almost.
Well, a little bit of that was going on. I think what made it difficult for them was that their arch rivals, the Aussies, could barely lift
Had a great game.
Their locker. But so many medals in it.
Yep.
So I think they're saying time for a little bit of payback on that. Now, Jason, if you're overplayed, you won't drop in time. Andy, oh, he's turned the ball around. That makes it a little bit harder. It also means that the shot is definitely against him.
Again, another way. Left is good.
Jason favours this one, but has he pushed it? No, they're getting caught out, aren't they?
Disappointing. Started off all right, ran out of puff.
You fall into that trap of thinking you can just let the ball flow away, and you can't on these heavier surfaces. You have to get the shoulder behind it, extend your arm, push through the line. Shots against, make sure you arrive at it. Missed the chance. Just slightly off on the high side. I don't think that counts. A little bit of encouragement there for Jason. Reached the 2 balls. Front ball onto the Welsh ball will also do, and there's another Welsh ball at the front of the head that could be promoted. so many options as long as you're reaching through.
And this is where your feel and touch are so vital, and obviously early on in the match it's difficult, isn't it?
Well, it is, but this is Jason's sort of shot. He loves playing these sort of timing weight shots. Puts the ball down, lets the ball do a little bit of work, but is he going to get a good result? We have to wait and see. Off the front one, and he's wiggling his way through. Well, he was off the target, we have to be honest about it, and he got a good result. That was a little acknowledgement there to Danny Delaney, that fortunate.
Yeah.
I think as in all sport, you acknowledge a little bit of luck.
Even though inside you're saying, thank you very much.
Oh, you gratefully accept it, because the next end it might go against you.
Yeah, of course.
Whoever said that luck evens up over a period of time has never played at bowls at this level, I can tell you. It doesn't.
You still feel hard done by, I can tell, David.
Oh, it doesn't. It can hurt, I can tell you. Under the line, missed it.
Missed it, yeah.
So, Wonder Wheels. They'll be happy to take that.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Could have been worse for New Zealand.
4-2. A little bit unlucky to lose that end.
Yeah.
New Zealand, they look to be in control of it for most of it.
Yeah.
And
touch of luck,
just a little bit of luck. That's
yeah,
all.
took it
Nothing
away.
else. It's another good start. He's played his first ball, and this backhand has Richard Collett in this direction a few times, and he's just finished inside. Not adjacent to the jack, but not far away. Steady start. No more than that. Martin Sowie coming in off the high side again. It's all about pace. Well, there's the problem. Martin Sowie's played 2 first deliveries and on a good line, but missed the weight. So not bad balls, they can be useful, but in the meantime your opponent's getting into the jack. Don't cut your line now, Martin. Don't cut the line. It'll go away very quickly. There it goes. That's not bad. It's a useful ball. Fact, David, that he just missed the front one.
Yeah.
A big difference there. I fully expect Danny just to drop one in on the ball, just to rest the Welsh one on the forehand. Yes, he's angled his body towards it. Onto the Welsh ball would be perfect. Just missed it, caught his own. Jason Greenslade just about to play. Interesting character, Jason Greenslade. Plays his singles in a much different way than most people, and even in pairs he's unpredictable. But a highly experienced Commonwealth Games bowler. This has got a bit of work to do. Here it comes. Wow, that's swept in. Must be using strong bias balls for that to happen.
Jason's also got a slightly different delivery technique, hasn't he? When he brings his arm forward, it's sort of almost behind his leg, and then it just comes around. Have you noticed? It's a sort of slight wave in the arm.
Well spotted.
Yeah.
Well
I'm not sure what
spotted.
the phrase is, but it's
Unique.
unique. Yes.
In the meantime, very good ball by Danny Delaney, but it is. I'll go through that in a moment for our viewers that with Jason. It starts from the time he grips the ball. Now he's looking for the big dip. Here it comes. All the way back in. He's very close with this one. Oh, that's a beauty. Well done, Jace. Big hook on that hand. Gives the Kiwis something to think about. I see the way he wraps his hand around the ball, and then the ball goes right round the back.
Yes.
Very few people grip the ball like that, that I'm aware of. You see this ball just hooking in now. As the pace comes off, the bias takes effect.
Interesting. It's a bit like table tennis when they hide the grip on the bat, isn't it? Keep it below the table or behind. Same thing.
Yeah, the thing about the table tennis is that's to make sure that their opponent don't know which sort of spin they're going to put on it.
That's true.
As opposed to this, which is more about it just happened to develop that way.
Yeah.
And thank goodness no one changed it.
Well, it's given us a good talking point.
Well, sometimes coaches can get a bit excited and change for change's sake.
Yeah.
Close for this. Needs a little tap. Oh, locked in. Walk away time. Locked in for the single. Don't even bother with the last ball, Jace. Might be a practice shot, but that's all. Little trot down. Fit guy, Jason. Got his wife to thank for that, Ruth. Very much into Pilates and fitness, Ruth. And
So that's just a practice shot, is it?
oh yes, that's just a practice, no more than that.
Doesn't want to disturb the head.
Happy to take a single, didn't want to go near it, but didn't want to leave the ball behind. So he just played a little practice shot, that's all. So Wales take a single. After 5 ends, it's still favouring New Zealand at 4 shots to 3. So once again, New Zealand have been given the jack by Wales. May change as the game develops. And once again, Richard Collett liking this forehand. That's a pretty good starter. Seems a bit more reliable. I think what the players will start to do, David, is what we call playing round the clock. Forehand, forehand. So it's an anti-clockwise way of playing the game.
Right.
So if we say you're playing round the clock, everyone knows then it's forehand, forehand. Martin Selway had struggled on the other side the last time coming this direction, so he has followed his younger New Zealand opponent and played the forehand. Always a good thing to do. Jason encouraging, that's good. Oh, it's going to fall back, is it? Well, really shouldn't happen if the ball does fall back, but better with the gap. Well, that is actually much better for Wales. Turning the ball behind the head like that, they'll be delighted with that result. Doesn't matter if it's taking the ball out of a scoring position, they'll just be pleased. Well, that's a good bad one. Just near enough Jack Hyde, leaves a target. And if I was out there playing for New Zealand, I would definitely give this one the beans. Jack in the ditch to take something away.
We shall see.
Jason was waving at this to get it back because he wanted it in line with the Jack, but it held off, wiggled around a bit. But it is a target. Obviously one that Danny can't resist. He's after it. Needs a bit more pace to hold that, though.
Yeah,
Now that ball will filter through. It'll be in a very good receiving position, so it's not wasted. And Jason will be looking to turn the Jack if he can, to take the target away or turn the ball. And if he misses either, then he'll filter through into a good back position. There he goes on the forehand. Yep, he's got the line to come into the Jack. That's what he's after. Or the ball. Should have enough running to keep this through. Little turn of the Jack's what he's after. Unlucky. Unlucky. Good ball, but unlucky. Just drifted off. No, Danny, don't mess about. Give this the business. Better with this one. Off the ball, onto the Jack. Well, took two out. Well, Jason is now asking about a ball which is at the side of the rink. He's checking to see if it's outside the confines, so he's asked the umpire to have a look, and that's what the umpire's doing. He's looking through his little periscope to see what's going on. Oh, there it is. They're using a slightly different one. That's Roger Black from World Bowls from Scotland. Very experienced man. Telescopic sight, well known to the rifle fraternity. There's another one which looks much more like a periscope, where you look through, David, and go up at an angle and it comes back down again, and it's marvellous. A bit antiquated, but really nice. Jace still hanging off the line. Well, he's leaving himself a little bit vulnerable here with no back position, but he does have the last ball.
Looks a little bit more cheerful now. There's a bit of a spring in his step. And the Welsh pair back in it.
Yes, there you go. Jason encouraging it through. It's not the ideal position. He knows that. He's not delighted with it. But Danny, to me, really needs to give this a heavy drive. Even the last one was, well, just marginal. I'll be going at this like a rat up a spout. Looks under. There it goes. No, this is a chance for Jason. He's got away with it up to a point. That's a big target to miss. It's probably the guts of, half a metre wide. And the Kiwis have missed it on a couple of occasions. So what you're thinking now is make it hurt. Put the spare shot in. Send a message that if you miss, I'm going to punish you. Makes a lot of people think very hard.
Yes. What's going to happen here?
Needs the pace just to gather it to the jack. He's looking good for number 4. No, he's played it. No mistake from Jason Greenslade. Takes the 4.
Well, now that's changed things around.
Wales quietly moving forward with 2 singles. Now got a 4. After 6 ends, there's 7-4 in front. And with only 3 ends to go. There we go.
So that's a good few minutes for the Welsh pairing, and the All Blacks have got some work on their hands.
Certainly do. 9 ends, you think to yourself, well, I've got time, whatever, but going into the 7th end is the key end in any 9-end set. If you're in front and you score on the 7th end, then your opponents are chasing the match. And then you're forcing them to think about things in a different way. They have to take risks.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks, you start making mistakes. So it's the same in an 11-end set. It's the 9th end that's critical.
Yeah.
So 85% of matches or sets are won by the people that are in front on the 6th end and score on the 7th.
Right. And the Welsh pair are just right back in this now, and they are really doing well and giving the 2 Kiwis something to think about.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that Martin shouldn't be playing the backhand in this direction, even with that front ball there. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, it's not bad where they are, but he's not nailing the jack, he's not finding centre line.
As you were saying, David, this is a critical time in this set, and intriguing to see how these next few minutes pan out.
Oh, absolutely. New Zealand have got first blood on this one by getting a close ball, but there's 3-second shots available to Wales, which means now if New Zealand don't get in with this ball, Jason will look at that and think, well, a chance to pluck that out.
Yeah.
It's very hard to draw the shot in that situation. Is he happy with the seconds? He has to make a decision if he's happy with the distance of his second shots. Well, my Jason now will look at this very, very carefully. He doesn't want to lose one. He's an accurate driver, Jason. Well, if he's thinking about just trying to bring it back to there, it'll be a very controlled weight. That's a harder shot. Yeah, he's playing across it to try and get to the ball and then onto the jack on the inside line. Oh. He's got a chance with this if it dips in time. It's very close. Oh, he just caught the edge. That was very close, and I sent a message to Danny Delaney, get one in, or I'll take you out the next time. Oh, he's missed the chance to get out. Jace, don't mess about with this. Just hit it. Yep, bit more direct this time. Will it get down in time? He's very close. Ball clean. Oh, unlucky. Got ball and jack. Ball clean was worth 3, but his own previous ball from before is back there, and he might well have made a double out of it. He's always like that. He makes that reaction when he plays a ball, David. You know, it's marginally aggressive and stuff, but he's always like that.
That's good.
He's such a character. He's so wound up for it. He's a good boy. Welsh guys are very happy.
Yeah, they are. They're in a good position here. In the lead already, 7-4.
Clear road is what Danny needs. He needs a clear road, and he's good. Oh, well done. Well played. That wasn't easy. He probably wasn't really playing for the gap.
I was going to say, if he was aiming for that gap, that was a great shot.
Yeah, what he was doing was just putting it down on what he thought was a decent line and just hoping.
Yeah.
Just hoping. Here we
he got lucky.
Look, there you go, through the gap. You know, on a draw, you very rarely aim for a gap that's just slightly off center like that.
That was a very good shot, as it turned out.
But Jason will go for the ball with weight to try and remove it. Oh, Jace, you've thrown it out wide. Will it get back? Can't imagine this one getting back in time.
It's got a long way to go.
No.
It's not going to do it.
Missed it. No, that changes the dynamics quite considerably in this match.
Now, it's suddenly swung round, hasn't it? Because that was a real good chance for the Welsh pair.
Was indeed. 1 to New Zealand. Score now 5-7. Favour of Wales. And there we have our NTO, the Raj Kumari Rani, who is our NTO for this match, our non-technical officer who looks after the scoring. A night out in Delhi at the bowls.
That's what we've got, and we're enjoying.
Yes, I must admit it is quite pleasant, I have to say.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, I do like nighttime bowls.
It's good. All we need now is a little glass of something cool and something to eat, and we'd be fine.
Maybe it's the 10 degrees less heat.
And 10 degrees less.
That's all. We're not being precious about it, but it is pleasant. That's a great start.
That is a terrific start.
Good stuff. One on the jack, one behind. Doesn't get much better than that. Well, that ball just dropped eventually. It won't change things an awful lot. Second ball. That's good stuff here.
Last ball, Matt. Good the ball, mate.
This is not changing the choice of shot for Wales. Still playing the forehand. And that's more an indication to me, David, that the backhand is just so difficult and so tricky that they're prepared to take the risk of playing the forehand.
Forehand, yeah.
Oh, that's good. That edge made a difference.
That's very good.
Smile from Martin Selway. Well, it wasn't lucky, mate. You were very, very close to your target. No time wasted. Richard Collett looking for the drive. A lot of power, but not a lot of accuracy. The difficulty there is if you're going to go quick, you have to make sure you hit.
Yeah, otherwise it costs you.
Well, it's a lost ball. That's the danger. There's the reaction. He realised that that's a lost ball. Jason prepared to go deep on the backhand to try and get a back position ball. That's handy. That's the respot covered in terms of Jack going back. I get the impression Danny Delaney is not a heavy driver. He's more of a controlled pace is what we would call it. I suppose in cricket that would be a medium pace man.
Well, these are tense moments because the future of this first set is in the balance here, isn't it? And they're close to it.
Absolutely, and the players will be very much aware of that.
Mistakes can be costly.
Get the impression he's going to go a little bit more direct. He is. He's decided it's too difficult to play the little trail shot. Now, will he drop down in time? Oh, not quite. Managed to take one away. Oh, Jason will not be unhappy about this. He's lying a double. He's got back position. Martin's looking to see what can possibly happen with this ball. So what they're trying to anticipate is exactly what New Zealand are going to play and to try and cover the end result if they get it. That's why he's looking over at the respot position. Anything past that ball that Jason's pointing to would be good. Just in case the Jack wings that side. Need to clear it, Jace. Well, second option is if you split the three balls. Well, he has. He's managed to split the triangle of red ones. So not the perfect result, but it's pretty good.
Danny Delaney stopping to just take another look and recheck what he saw, and then he continued his walk to the other end. So he's working out his shot right now, thinking, I know what I've got to do, let's just do it. What do you think he's going to do here?
Well, it should be pace on the backhand. The reason why he's playing the backhand is they can see a little nibble of the Jack.
Just a little, just the merest hint of it, but
yep.
That's
Gone under.
Yep.
Missed the head. It's going to be two more to wheels by the looks of it.
This is going better and better for Wales, isn't it?
Two confirmed. Wales taking a 4-shot lead, 9 shots to 5 after 8 ends into the last end of the first set, and looking quite comfortable at the moment.
They are. They've come back from that little sort of moment when they seemed to be slightly unhappy with their game, and it's the turn of the two New Zealanders to look unsettled and slightly uncomfortable. Neither of them are playing particularly well.
Well, you see little moths all over the green there. They're just
a natural hazard.
A natural hazard indeed. Yes. Well, I think the bowls are an unnatural hazard for them. I tell you what, they weigh a fair bit. They really do.
Take no prisoners.
Well, they're not going to survive if a ball rolls over them. Richard just off putting some fluid in. Of course, you really do need to keep the water going.
So this is going well for Wales now, and they need to just keep going. They found the right groove.
Really surprised he didn't follow that last ball down on the backhand, because...
Yes, what was that about? Why did he go so wide?
He shouldn't have been on the forehand. The reason why he played the forehand is he could see the jack, and Leeds just love to be able to see the jack, because that's their whole sort of raison d'etre for being there, is to get to the jack.
Yep.
But occasionally you just have to say, forget the jack and play to beat the ball that's the closest. Don't worry about it. It'd be better to do that probably on the backhand. His forehand looks a little bit unpredictable. Much, much tighter this time. Yep, he's got a chance. Oh, he's got the edge again. He's just using that edge a few times, and that's a good ball.
Yeah. It's looking even better now for Wales.
That ball was just drifting off. Got off the red New Zealand ball, and now New Zealand have to chase it.
Yep.
Well,
that's another disappointment.
Yes, 2 poor balls, but crucially 1 good one.
Yeah.
It's a little bit vulnerable though.
Yes, you'd think these two New Zealanders have got something up their sleeve to counter this.
Well, they have to chase it.
They do.
That's what they have to do.
They're nearly at the point of losing this opening set.
They need to score 4 shots, so they need to remove that ball pretty quickly.
They've got to do something, yes, right now.
In the area, I can understand why he had that sort of pace. He was trying to open the ball up a little bit to get a look at it. The other side of the jack, so he could pluck it out.
Food for thought, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Danny Delaney looking very pensive as he walked back and just thinking about what's not quite going right here. What they've got to do to get out of this set. Back in it.
Jason trying to encourage that ball in. Just wants to drift away from it. That's it, that's useful. He wants to keep a gap between his 2 balls so they both will not be removed. It's forcing...
It looks encouraging, doesn't it, this head?
Yes, it does, because he's forcing the New Zealand team into playing a shot which is a very difficult shot. Remove a ball and stay in its place. That one will drift away. Now there's 3 balls that side of the head, so Jason needs one in there to cover. How he gets it there will, well, be hard to do it in the backhand.
Have a look at the head.
Yeah, he's asking about coming up to look, because he can see a little grouping of red balls on one side of the jack. He would like to get to them, can't do it in the backhand.
And you have to ask for permission.
At this stage.
At this stage, if you want to approach the head.
Yes, after 1 ball. Allowed up after the second. the pairs. Well, it's an interpretation of the professional game.
Yeah.
It's all slight tweaks between Commonwealth games. Just, oh, Jace, the ball's behind you. You've forgotten that you left it there. He's now he's looking for it.
Saying, where is it?
Oh, yeah, it's up there. That's it, friend. Oh, wonderful. Good lad, Jace. Well done.
He found it.
Oh, deep in concentration, you see, and that's good, actually, because you're so deep in concentration that he completely forgot.
Absolutely. He's playing the shot in his head, and
that's exactly what he's doing. Trying to get into that triangle on the backhand if he can. Needs a clear road. Needs a clear road. That's not bad. That's not bad. Oh, yes. Didn't bend as much as he would like, but it's still a good ball, and that makes life very difficult for the Kiwis. Jason trying to encourage it up and to make it bend. Won't do anything different, of course, David, but it makes you feel good.
It makes you feel better, doesn't it?
So it's all part of getting the adrenaline going.
Yes.
And there's also a little bit of intimidation for the opposition when you do that, because what you're really saying is...
You're obviously up for it and you're enjoying it.
I'm close, I'm going to get there. And by the way, you know, you're sending a signal which says you are in deep stuck. All on connections here. Depends where the jack goes. One ball goes out, but I don't think it's going to be enough. One and a measure, and Jason has got the last ball to correct that situation. Now, you don't want to fly over this, Jason, so you'd be safer to play it on the backhand. The forehand's wide open, but it's a safer shot on the backhand because you're playing across the head and you're bringing the jack away from the New Zealand balls. That's why he's on the backhand. It looked an obvious forehand shot.
Yeah.
But there's a reason for it. He's not bad. He's not bad at all. He'll be quite happy just to drop in for second. Yep, that's a good ball. Quite happy with that. Take the first set. 1 to New Zealand. So after the first set has been completed, there we are. Margaret confirms. Raj Kumarirana is saying that it's 1 to New Zealand, but the set goes in favour of Martin Selway and Jason Greenslade, 9 shots to 6.
Brimming with raw talent, it is a game built on proud traditions, school pride, and binding brotherhood. The best of the best have received the ultimate honor, the chance to represent their country and don the black jersey worn by their heroes. Be part of another chapter in Trans-Tasman rivalry. College rugby, New Zealand schools versus Australian schools. Wednesday, live only on the Rugby Channel. Brought to you by Harvey Norman.
People love My Sky HDI. You can pause and rewind live TV. Automatically record every episode in a series with Series Link. Watch and record an incredible range of quality channels at the touch of a button, and record 2 channels at the same time while watching a third live. Watch downloaded movies and entertainment on demand. And you'll be thrilled to hear that My Sky HDI won't cost you hundreds of dollars. In fact, it's yours for just $15 a month on any Sky digital subscription and a low one-off installation cost. And if you have an HD television, you can watch sports and movies in 1080 high definition for only $10 extra a month. Plus, if something goes wrong with this box, you can keep smiling knowing Sky will happily replace it. No wonder it's New Zealand's #1 personal video recorder. My Sky HDI, your happy place.
The moment we've all been waiting for, and boy, am I excited.
There is a buzz in the air, and it's going to be a cracker.
Finally, here they come.
The ITM Cup, Hawke's Bay Northland, Thursday, live, Sky Sport 1 on the Rugby Channel.
Home for a while, not to play nursemaid to me.
A family united in a time of need.
Mom, there's handicap access everywhere. I am not handicapped!
Friday film night, One True Thing, 8:30 Friday on Vibe.
These guys are everyday punters about to take on the block. Are you ready? Yeah! They've got no idea.
Come on, get ready. Come on, get ready. Come on, get ready. Come on.
4 couples, 4 apartments. Get ready for a new challenge. Get ready for the Block 2010. Soon, right.
And there's confirmation of the way that opening set has gone, and New Zealand in trouble. After looking as if they were going to just edge ahead of Wales and go on to take that set, they've lost it, and it's Wales who have the ascendancy going into the second set. And we are poised now, I think, for an intriguing match, because it's not like the All Blacks to take this sort of thing lying down. They're bound to respond strongly. We'll see how they cope in this second set.
I didn't hit. So off we go. It's another little mini match, the second set. The first little battle was won by Wales. The second little battle is just commencing, but the war continues. Jason encouraging the ball in front, and he's managed to get it there.
Well, he's done brilliantly, hasn't he?
Very well played, Martin.
This is a very good start.
We're so used to seeing singles on television, David, that when it comes to pairs, you get that interaction between the two players, and the body language is slightly different.
It's intriguing. We're watching high-quality action here under the lights, and it's great stuff. And it's going particularly well for Wales right now, and that's good news for everyone in the Principality.
Martin looking just to drift past. Didn't manage it this time, but that doesn't really make an awful lot of difference, just tapping that ball. It was second shot anyway. Just moved it a few inches closer. Kiwi chat time.
Yes, they're a little worried, aren't they? And it's the turn of the two Welsh guys to just, you know, they look comfortable, they look happy, and they're doing things right, because just look at the scoreboard. See what Danny Delaney does here.
Yes, he's still trying to promote his own ball or turn into the jack. Big swing at the end there. That's a very useful position. That's handy, as we would say. And Jace could do well to play a similar ball and turn the jack himself.
You think he'll try a similar shot, do you?
Well, there's no reason why not. The only danger is he doesn't want to leave a catch, and that jack is almost hidden. You know, the perfect shot would be in the blind side and the backhand, and that would be to come in between the gap and get to the last red ball, but he wants to take the shot away from New Zealand. That's why he's playing the forehand.
Yep.
If he turns the jack himself, he has to reach it first. He's got a chance with this if he can get up to it. Lovely line, good effort.
He likes the old backward running, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So he can see what he's doing, and he's moving at the same time, high speed backwards.
Well, he has to, because he has to be behind the mat or behind the jack when the ball finishes his forward movement.
He's checking his bearings as well.
So the umpire would be very quickly onto him about possession of the rink rule. Yes, that's the alternative I was talking about before on the backhand, to come in around the back of the jack. Last ball makes it difficult from the forehand. Here it comes. Now, Jace, have you got the pace this time? Under for both pace and line.
Not going to make it.
But he's still running up. Do you see that? He's still running up to make sure he's behind, even though he can turn around and see New Zealand are still just walking up. They have possession of the rink at this stage.
Yes.
That's a little technical point. And to be truthful with you, David, that most of the guys at this level don't give an awful lot of cognizance to the rule. But at the same time, they're not going to stroll up and down if your opposition's on the mat.
No.
You know, that's just bad sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Trying to drop under his short ball or give it a good hard push. Well, he's done exactly that, and that's not bad. There is a shot coming up, which is possible, but it's difficult. It's a really nice shot, that. We can see that's exactly what Jason's going to try and do. Much appreciate that the players are both sides of the jack to allow that to happen. Right, Jason. Well, the shot I was thinking of, that almost would have killed it anyway, but no more balls left, doesn't matter. And that looked like 1 to blue. Just getting that confirmed. Yes, it is 1 to Wales. A gentle start on the first end of the second set.
Yes.
And this is what I was talking about earlier, David, about a dramatic change in tactics. They have brought the mat up. It's either go full head or bring the mat up, one or the other.
And that's what they've done. They've brought the mat up.
Yeah. They're looking for a fairly short jack, probably 24 metres, something like that. Minimum requirements, 23.
So all these players have got to change their bearings now and get the feel of this new distance.
They do. They do. Might take a couple of balls just to get the range sorted.
Now, who would you think this is going to suit? I mean, obviously the All Blacks are struggling here. But which of the sort of style of play is going to suit this shorter game better?
If it had been on a really, really fast green, really quick, really hard, I would have said New Zealand, because that's what they're used to, and it would have been really difficult for any UK country to adapt quickly. But because the screen's a little bit pushy, I don't think there's an awful lot of difference.
Right.
What they're doing is they're just trying to search out their opponent. They're trying to find a length that will suit them, and maybe their opponents just start to give them a little bit of space. That's all.
Well, we'll soon see if this has any effect.
Just didn't push it, Martin. You're scoring with those 2 balls at the moment, but they're not in the right position. The jack just needs to be pushed back 6, 8, 10 inches, and suddenly New Zealand will eye 3 shots. So have to reach for the next one. I think we've got a very large looking moth in that forehand. I noticed it earlier and it hasn't moved. So
yes, that's right.
It could do with moving. Martin on the backhand just to try and promote his own 2 balls. That's what he's after. He wants to get full ball contact on either. Drop inside will do as well. Oh, there's the kick out. Oh, good grief. Well, if it was a grouping competition, they would work. That's about as nice a shamrock as you could think of.
Top marks, if it was.
But unfortunately for him, it's not what he was after. That ball definitely kicked out as well. He wouldn't have been that close because he didn't have the pace. Knee in behind the forward leg. Very traditional clinical style of the Southern Hemisphere. In the groove style that they called it many years ago when it was brought out, and it's replicated many places. That style really is very prevalent in New Zealand, Australia, Papua New Guinea, Fiji, Southern Hemisphere, South Africa. It changes a bit when you get to Hong Kong, of course, but then again, they're not the Southern Hemisphere, so understandable. Now, Jess, can you get back? That's not bad. A little bit of a loose end. Swing, Jason. There it comes. You were too heavy. That was the problem. The line was good.
Yeah.
Just push through it a little bit. Oh, just an edge would be helpful, and it's in. It could be a double. Jason, you're left with 1 ball to get a bit of a bother here. The mat's up in the green. Short jack. New Zealand will be very happy by the looks of it as put wheels off a little bit.
Yeah.
No, still not great bowling, David, at this end, but if you score, you don't really care, do you?
No. They just need to score.
That's it. There we go. It's still probably not quite half a metre away, and very beatable, but a useful ball. Now, Jace, give it a chance. Be reaching, give it a chance. Oh, Jason, what are you doing down there? I could park one there all day. Still, we're just going to get confirmation of this. It looks like a double to New Zealand. That is correct. Now, it'd be interesting to see if New Zealand keep the jack for this. No, they're giving it away. Not convinced that's the right thing to do.
And we're back to full distance now.
I'm sure about that. I should hold my water a little bit with regards to commenting on it.
Yes.
But if you bring the mat up, you play a short jack length, you win it. That's what I was saying earlier. You found a length that obviously New Zealand were not terribly comfortable with.
Yep.
Well, the next thing that you do is you hang on to the jack and you play something similar in a different direction.
Yep.
You don't give the jack away and let your opponent bang a ball on the jack. You know, it's which is exactly what Martin's done. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, maybe it's just my logical brain on working overtime.
No, I was thinking along those lines, and I couldn't quite understand why we're doing now this length on the playing area.
So here we go. And that ball's just been marked by a spray chalk. Just spray it on, it immediately goes white, and that indicates that if that ball goes into the ditch, it stays live.
Right.
If the ball goes into the ditch on normal play, whether it goes in when delivered or indeed if it's hit in, it's taken away and takes no further part in that end. Oh, Martin, what are you doing down there? Come on, lad. Concentrate, keep him going. Just needed to make it back a little bit quicker, Richard Collett. Yeah, Jason's saying, make sure you're reaching to that ball. He's getting his own ball, that will help considerably. But if it hadn't been there, he would have had the perfect delivery. Certainly, the guys are looking a bit warm out there, David, aren't they?
They are. Well, the adrenaline starts to flow and the pressure's on. And
that's a good drive, just slightly off the target. Took one ball away. I don't think Jason would have been too worried if it had hit that ball. That's a line shot right up the face, because the jack and the ball would have whizzed into the ditch. More than likely, the ball would have stayed with it. There we go. Took one out. Sort of motors along, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Seen a few injuries over the years when people driving really, really quick and hitting a ball and someone not noticing, not paying attention, or hitting a jack and breaking the odd leg bone.
A painful blow anyway, I'm sure. Minimum painful blow. Obviously any sort of damage could be caused. Ankles, shin.
And the odd jack would bounce up pretty high and might catch people, and it has done. Seen him being hit in the chest, etc. Bowl's a dangerous sport. Quite unbelievable. Good ball. Very good ball. Good second shot. That changes things for Jason. There you go, Jace. Down we go. Down we go. Just trying to get in front to block the way. I don't think that's blocked away. Definitely worth attacking. Here it comes. Very controlled weight. A little timing shot. Not far away. Oh, that kicked out. But, oh, well, that hasn't really helped that much. Gives him an open side of the jack. Well, whenever that happened, David, that means that the jack's now out in the open, so Jason will be conscious of that. He'll try and just move the jack a little bit if he can. This is asking a lot. See if he gets down from there. No. No, back position might just be enough for the Kiwis. If he gets the front plant, which is the shot ball, he can take his own ball out. Would be very unlucky, of course, not to take something else out. The alternative is to come between the two balls on the forehand and use your own ball onto the jack. Not the easiest shot, but
having a good conversation on the walk back. So does Danny Delaney have a clear picture in his mind what he's going to do?
Well, the safer shots on the forehand, the dangerous shots on the backhand.
Well, we're about to see.
Well, he's happy enough to go for the dangerous shot.
Yes.
He needs the jack with this. Needs the jack. He's close to it. Got it.
He's got
and
it.
He's running with it. Well, that's a good ball and a very good result. Now,
That was a very clever shot, wasn't it?
There was a clever shot because he played it with good controlled weight. So it's going to be 1 to New Zealand. So 3 ends, 3 shots to 1. New Zealand looking to try and take control of the second set. Took a big ball by New Zealand, David.
Yeah.
When they had command of the jack, let Wales go in, put themselves in a bit of bother, had to play a great ball to get out of trouble, and now they've given the jack away again.
Yes.
I might need a little bit of time to work on that logic, but you know, I think I would have taken the mat out again and try and dominate it.
But that conversation, the quite long conversation as they walked apart, paid off.
Oh yes, it was a risky shot.
The risky shot turned out to be the right one.
Absolutely.
Because he executed it properly. Now, New Zealand might be lifted by that little bit of success just there.
Well, he moved away very quickly.
He did.
On that,
he didn't look very happy, did he?
Which means he's pushed it too wide. Yep, he has. He should never be anywhere near that ball, and he knows it. He probably should have been missing it by at least, 30 centimetres, at least 30 centimetres inside that.
Mind you, having said that, I don't think Martin Selway was over pleased with his shot.
No.
You can tell by his reaction, he thought that's not very good, but then...
Well, that's pretty good there. Coloured balls made out of a compressed powder, a melamine material, mainly because they can put in all the different colours and the speckles and all sorts of things that players now require, like for these sort of things. And they're interesting things actually, because I've been down to a few of the factories just to see how they're made, and I saw this little block. I thought, well, that's interesting. I said, well, what do you do with it? And he said, oh, well, what do you want? I said, well, make me a frisbee of this melamine.
Good Lord.
And he did. He just flattened it and put an edge on it. I said, well, there you go. That's what you can do with this material. He said, you don't have to make balls with it. You can make all sorts of things with it.
That's an extraordinary story.
Here we go. Oh, look at the reaction there. Oh. Slap on the leg. No. Was he going to hold? No, just dropped underneath. It's still a good ball. It fell against the bias, and that could give him the shot. And Jason made a little smile about that, because that looked to be drifting away. It's a little bit cruel, actually, against opponents, David, whenever a ball drops against a bias like that, because they're built not to do that. You know, people think there's sometimes a weight put in to make a bias. It's not. One side is flatter than the other.
Yes.
And it should always, if it is going to fall down on the flat side. Doesn't always happen. Ooh, ouch. Nearly hit the ball over. Now, Jason, with your ball, get back from there. There's the big pull now. Here it comes. Just slide round it. Oh, well played. Good ball. Very good ball. Pressure on. Well, that was very quick. Very quick on the mat. Ball's got a bit of work to do to get to the jack. He's not far away with this. He needs an edge, though. Well, we'll have to wait and see whether that was successful or not. If it has reduced the count, he's been very fortunate. Well, if that had missed the jack, that would have been a definite 3 to Wales. As it is, it's probably 1 on a measure. Well, Jason, I think you just overplayed it. Yes. He was looking for the ball clean through the gap, but didn't give it enough time. Well, I think, Danny, you have to think about this and have to say to yourself, hold on a wee minute, I can get a really bad result out of this if I'm not careful. It's probably a good move to sit back and just have a little chat about it.
So, big task here for Danny Delaney.
Well, this ball will sweep back if he has good pace. If he's too heavy, he'll knock it back. Well, let's see where it's going. That's okay. No damage done. He secured the second. Should be 1 to Wales. We'll just wait for confirmation. There we go. 1 to blue. 3-2 after 4. There's a concentration on Danny Delaney's face, watching the ball go down the green. That's not just to see what happens with the ball, but that's also to pick up knowledge for later. That's why I always say, whenever I am doing some coaching, never turn your back on a ball, because even if it's bad news, you can learn from it. Once again, New Zealand have brought the mat up the rink. Short jack length.
So the bowler's at the far end, bowling towards our commentary position. We're looking, as you are, down towards the ball that's coming back up. So that's our perspective as well.
Which is really quite pleasant because we're sitting up high. We can get a clear view of the rink.
Good view. Jason Greenslade also with a good view. And this match is really at a fascinating stage. It hasn't been high scoring in these in the opening stage of the second set, but it's still nicely poised.
Yes, it's interesting
Could go
game.
either way, and you wouldn't actually want to put money on anyone here. Tough one to call.
Decent effort. Good grouping on the balls as well. So obviously this jack length just a little bit easier to get to. Make things nice and tight. Close again. Yep, that's good stuff. Excellent bowling.
Give him the ball, Mark. Inside line.
Martin just trying to dip into the jack and the balls as well. Seems to be a natural run into them. Yes, that's good. Well done. That's good bowling from both leads. You have 5 balls that you could put a handkerchief over, so
yeah, that's good.
Can't argue with that level.
That's impressive. And it's still very tight. This could go either way.
Yeah, I think Jason was half expecting that ball to fall down, but doesn't really matter at this stage. It's good.
So Danny Delaney down at that far end now.
Looking to rest the ball out. Oh, he needed an edge. He's probably drawn the shot, but an edge could have made 2 or 3 out of it.
Yeah. But again, that grouping, the proximity of those balls there.
Well, you have to think to yourself, if New Zealand win this end, they should keep the jack and the mat. They really should.
Yep. Now, Jason Greenslade at the far end, taking the same route.
Trying to encourage the ball forward. Yes, he knew he was on the edge for pace. Didn't quite have enough. Gentle, gentle as it comes back. And Jace is just trying to see where the dangers are. Back positions against, the shots against. It's not the easiest. If he does decide to drive into this, well, there's risks involved. Yes, I think he was frightened off a little bit. There are sometimes you just occasionally have to think to yourself, well, I'll try and draw the shot, but if I lose one, I just have to suck it up and leave it at that.
And still there's nothing in it in this set.
There's nothing in it, and there's not an awful lot that Wales can do about this head at the moment, unless this ball makes it in. That's a good effort, Danny. That really is a good effort. Now, if it's dropped back for another shot, and I don't think it has, back position, New Zealand have command. They're line the shot. It's only a draw. There's nothing else they can do except try and draw this. So a delicate draw for Jason. Very much along the lines of, if I can draw it, great, and if I can't, just accept the fact I'm losing a single. Yeah.
It's a bit short, isn't it?
Yes, he wasn't really convinced by it.
No.
You could tell. Just wait for confirmation that it's definitely won to New Zealand. That's now confirmed for us by the delightful Raj Kumari Rana. Done a very good job.
One of the masses of NTOs doing such a great job here.
Yes, no shortage of volunteering.
I'm sure there wasn't, and what a great opportunity for some of the youngsters in this area to come along and experience working at the Commonwealth Games.
Well, once again, New Zealand have managed to score well. The last end, they've given the jack away to Wales, thinking the last ball's more valuable. And Wales have played a slightly longer jack length. Commonwealth Games in Melbourne, Australia, through Kelvin Kirkhoy, took out the gold medal against Robert Wheel of Wales. Fascinating game, very interesting. And at the end of the match, the whole of the Australian team ran onto the green. A bit of exuberance there, I have to say, but there was some hijinks later on that night, I believe, when they partied the night away. Followed with an article in the newspaper that Kelvin Kirkhoy had trashed his room, which actually wasn't true, of course. It was just they had a party to celebrate, because there were a lot of gold medals and other medals lifted by Australia. Kelvin was telling me about it. I told him it was all his fault. Well, once again, decent balls in the head. They're being grouped around within half a metre or so of the jack, but nothing making it really behind the jack, and the guys are falling into that trap of not pushing through. It's fully understandable, but that was a great chance for New Zealand to pull the jack. Jason will be aware of that. Not easy for Jason. Backhand looks a favoured option. The forehand's a more reliable hand, but backhand to try and push through the head, try and get onto his own balls or reach in through the red ones of New Zealand. There he goes. Now, have you got the pace? He hasn't. Well, as it turned out, he had the pace, but he just needed to be a little bit wider. Well, you're feeling the heat there, Jason, I can tell.
What do you reckon?
Jason, it's a bigger hand, this backhand, but you must be positive. You have to be getting a ball in position. You need to punch through this. Even getting onto your own ball would be good. Give you something at the back. Oh, well. It's a little bit of a protector, to be fair. It's not a bad result. Oh, that is a very, very wide line that Danny is taking. Don't know what on earth he was doing out that far. And considering that New Zealand are 4-2 up in here, David, do you know what? They're a little bit flat looking.
They are, aren't they? You'd actually think that they were the ones in trouble.
Exactly. You know, they're not in the best position in this end, but, you know, come on, guys, don't get in there. Make it look like you're, you know, you're in charge of the set. Throw a little bit of your weight about the place.
Exactly.
Oh, it's a gentleman's sport within reason, but intimidation is not unknown. When applied in a subtle and sportsman-like way. Jason missed the chance again. I think New Zealand have to take a chance here and go for this. You know, Wales have got a ball at the back, but they're 2 or 3 down.
They're sort of drifting a bit while they do these tactics. You just think, as you say, let's just go for it.
Just occasionally, you have to say.
They've got the lead in the sets. They've got the lead in the points.
Well, he's still trying to draw off the side ball with a couple against him. It's a good shot to play, but it's a very difficult shot to play, and the percentages are low in terms of the margin of error. In the area. Now he's got a chance with this one, just on the connection. Oh, he dropped back. That's a very good shot. A very good draw shot out of nowhere. Obviously decided he could draw it, and, well, all credit to Denny. He played a really good ball. Now he should be really upbeat. Doesn't look it, but he should be. Got 1 to red. So 6 ends, 5 shots to 2 in a set that New Zealand must win to force the tie-break. Confirmation of the score. Jason just bringing the jack over with his foot onto the centre of the rink. A lot of moths down there, and you can't really see the white marks, but there are little white dots all the way along.
There are more by the minute, actually, this time of night.
This time of night. They're coming out. They're coming out to play. Good starter, Martin Selway. Very, very good starter. As New Zealand just keep giving the jack away, and I'm not convinced I'm really not convinced it's a good tactic under the circumstances. So I really do think that to turn around and say I'll take it and keep it, tactically it would be a better way to go. But then again, they're out there trying to do the business. Very good facilities here in the Jain Sports Complex in Delhi. Just behind this television rink, we've got all the areas for the press coverage, and radios beside television putting their reports through. Good adjustment. Well, my opposition had put 2 balls in there because I decided to give the jack away, David. I certainly wouldn't be doing it again.
No.
Come on, Martin. Did really well. Hurry!
Sorry, not 2, 3 now. You know, it's just, that's really, really good bowling, because it's not the easiest these rinks to play on. They're not bad. That's a really good end from Martin. And really, the Kiwi will drive at this to try and...
yes, I mean, if they can come out of
through.
this with a decent score, Wales, of course... Oh.
Yep, well, the jacks ended up in the ditch, as it turned out. The balls have been scattered. We're going to have to wait to see what the debris is. So, take away the debris, mark the ball. Good strike, really good strike. Now, how many of those are touchers? That's what we need to know.
Yeah.
So, come on, guys, clear the ditch. Let us see what's going on. Good strike, right down the middle, hard and fast. Was meant to go out on the respot, but hit a ball and came back into the ditch. I think things have been removed from the ditch area, so we should know the situation. Yep, there it is. 1, 2, red. All the debris has been taken away. That's the little markers that they put at the edge of the ditch to let the players know, because they can't see the jack or the ball from the mat. Now, Jason, just get a decent ball in here to give yourself something to work with. Big changeover for New Zealand with that drive. Wales really need to score this end. Trying to encourage the ball up as far as he can. Yeah, it's not bad. I can tell you that is not bad at all. That's something to work with your next deliveries. Well, when you're lying in the ditch, you might as well put another one in the ditch and give it a chance, but or at least roll in the process of giving it a chance. No point in being short. Jason playing the backhand to try and promote his own ball or drift inside it. This is looking very good. He could draw the shot with this ball. Oh, that's a beauty. That's an absolute beauty. Well done, Jace. Put the first one in, give yourself something to play with, and then drops another ball in. New Zealand forced to attack it. Looks under, and it is. Big end for both teams. 7th end of the 9-end set. Jace thinks he's good again. I tell you what, he's not far away. Is he? Whoa, whoa, stop. Whoa, unlucky. Very unlucky. That's at least 4 moths that have gone. Oh, well, there's plenty more to take their place.
Several dozen. I don't know about a couple.
3,000, I would say. Just off the front one. Didn't get the best result with the last ball. Danny Delaney, but more important for Wales, they take the single. Confirmation of that. Just there we have it. 3 shots now to Wales, 5 to New Zealand, 2 ends to go. I have to just remember that Wales do not need to win this set, they only need to draw it. Wales have given the mat away, and New Zealand have immediately gone up again. We've had some tactics here, David, but it's how the tactics that have been used that have been a little bit confusing, a little bit inconsistent for me.
Yep.
I think New Zealand have had a chance to dominate the second set.
They have, and it's not really working, is it? I mean, they're stuttering. 5-3 up, low scoring.
Well, no harm around there, always useful.
And at times not really being very positive. You just felt that somehow they'd get greater return if they had been more positive.
Well, something along the lines of, even if you win the end, just take the mat, take the jack, play your length, dominate the end early, and dominate the set from there. It's however, every team have their own tactics. Doesn't mean they're set in stone, of course. They can change throughout the match. Long days, of course, for everyone involved in the Commonwealth Games. It's just the nature of it when it comes to lawn bowls. From all the volunteers all the way through to the technical advisors, to the players. Your normal routines are fairly well upset. And of course, well, you know, speaking personally, David, I'm sort of missing out on my chocolate eclair that I would normally have in an evening with a cup of tea. Haven't managed to get that.
Oh, what I give for a chocolate eclair right now.
Exactly. There you go.
And a cup of coffee.
And a real cup of coffee. Yeah. So it would go down well, wouldn't it? I have to say. Just when we're watching this match. Good bowling. So, New Zealand still in a good position at 5-3 and a tight head. They won't mind that too much. They'd really, really like to sneak a single here, though. Wales, line 1. Would be very happy to take one. Close for this. Is it going to get down in time? Oh, so nearly. Well, that was actually quite a decent effort by Danny Delaney, and a little bit of weight off it the next time, and he'll get the shot. Jason, you have to be a little bit careful here. You're holding the shot. You don't want to give the opportunity of losing the shot to New Zealand. That's why he's playing the blocker. And this is very, very good outdoors in particular. If you play a very short ball, it just gets in the eye. It's difficult to get round.
Yeah.
That one, well, it's not that great actually, because you can actually get round it and then dive deep into the head again. Good effort. Really good effort. Hard luck. Not far away.
Yeah, the blocker needed to be several yards further down.
Well, yes, just another three or four yards down near the head would have been a little bit better. It's more of a guide than a blocker at the moment. There's the other one going in now. Now this needs to come across. Needs to come. It's getting there. Now that's a much better blocker on the forehand. It's still beatable, but it's a much better blocker. Oh, if I was New Zealand now, I'd be tempted to drive this ball out. Drive for the edge of it and drive it out. You've got 3 seconds. 3 shots to New Zealand now would just virtually seal the set. So just drive it out. Take a slight risk. You've got 4 back balls against 1 of the Welsh. Go on, Danny. Think about it. If you get this, you'll get the second set. You may not get a better chance. Well, yes, he's on the backhand. I was going to say if he's on the forehand, he's playing a controlled shot. He's on the backhand going for the ball. That's the right shot to play now. How accurate is he? Needs the edge. Oh, just on the high side. Good choice of shot. Just wasn't able to execute it. Jason, happy to take a single, walk away from it. He is more than prepared to go into the last end 1 shot down, and I'm almost certain he'll give the shot or the jack away. He has. He's given the jack away and the mat away to New Zealand, which has been the case all the game for both teams. 1 confirmed. Good start. Very good start. Martin just drifting past. Richard could do with another one in just right in front of the jack and start asking a lot of questions from the Welsh team this last end. Build ahead and then start for cover. No, that's good. Martin still pushing through. I can understand it, but you really do need to think about just getting the ball close so that you can attack the head, or Jason can. Well, New Zealand are lying a set lie at the moment, which will take us into a tie break. And Jason just explained to Martin that about getting just close enough if he can, give him something to work at. Well, this just needs to hold the line now, dive towards the end. Well, second ball, that's good. Jason will be quite happy with that. Hot work out there for those boys. Hot work out there for everyone. Well, it's a little bit short, but it's not a bad ball. Certainly going to make life difficult for Jason. Now, Jace, you want a big first delivery. Get the shot and then hang on. It looked a little bit of a tired effort with a shot against you. Short and narrow. Should be a bit more life about this one from Jason. He's calling it to hurry. Now he needs it to bend. Didn't want it to hurry. It was the pace that held it off. Well, this is looking more and more like a tie-break situation. It's a little bit pacey. Well, stamina will start to count, David, won't it?
It sure will. It sure will. These are tough conditions for everybody.
Well, Jason has effectively this ball to get the shot to win the match.
Well, I suppose stranger things have happened.
Well, yes, and it's he was very close the last time. He's usually a very good big ball player, as we would call it, Jace. But you really don't want to go into a tie-break if you can avoid it. Well, he's a little bit more aggressive with this. He's trying to flick the edge of the ball. I tell you what, it needs to bend. He's close with this. Very close. Oh, he's got it. Oh, what a ball, and so typical of Jason Greenslade. He plays the big ball right at the end.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? Suddenly how something can swing round like that.
That's why he held on to the last ball. We're just going to check to see how many shots that was. He only needed the one, but he scored more than that. So we're just waiting on confirmation. There we go. That's the 3. The Wales. And that's an excellent, excellent ball by Jason Greenslade. Him and Martin Selway. There it is, clean as a whistle. Took it out. Shots to spare. He knew he was close. He really wanted to get that. Oh, there you go.
You got the impression the second that the ball left his hand that he knew it was on its way. He gave a little shout.
He knew that was so close. He really did. But Wales did well. They won the first set 9 shots to 6. The second set 7 shots to 5, and came from a down position in the second set and did really well, but have won the match 2-0. That's a happy man, Martin Selway. He's just making sure that everything is signed off. What you're looking there is at the card all being signed off and the scores being checked as they have to be due to Commonwealth Games regulations. That'll be the umpire for this particular green dealing with this. Sign it all off, and you have to say, David, you know, when it came to the last end and just the big ball had to be played, the big players stand up, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah. All credit to the Welsh pairing. I mean, they've just done brilliantly how they've stuck at it. They had problems in that first set. They took it. And yet they come through to take this match quite brilliantly, and neither of the two New Zealanders will be happy with their performances this evening. They were erratic. They were good at times, but other times they seemed to lose the focus.
Yes, I think they made a mistake. I really do on their tactical play. I think there was an opportunity to dominate the second set by keeping the mat and the jack, and opportunities. But there's some good balls, as we can see here. Some narrow misses, of course, but some excellent play and a good relationship between Martin Solway and Jason Greenslade. And long periods of the second set, you thought that New Zealanders should have been dominating, and it just didn't look like it. It's
you made
cost them.
that point. You made the point that they seemed to spend too long really being a little indecisive rather than just going for it, and they have allowed themselves to be caught up and in the end beaten.
Absolutely, and they were beaten by a brilliant ball by Jason Greenslade, but I think Richard Collett and Danny Delaney will look back and think to themselves as we see this ball just dropping in, that was for an extra shot. And here we are, Jason. Now you can tell right from the moment, as you said, David, it left his hand. He knew he was close.
Back, and then the shout.
Yep, there it goes.
Then the leap.
And that's typical Jason Greenslade. It really is. He's a big player, as I was saying. He likes playing the big ball, and he was not envisaging going into a tie-break and thought, I want to relax back at the village. I want to get myself a cold drink. And that's exactly what he did.
Great performance. Well done to both those guys, and all credit to them for a very good victory over a difficult New Zealand pair.